Hello guys, BloodBaron115 here coming at you today with my rankings of the DLC 2 Zombies maps from 6 down to 1, as I've done with the past 2 ranking lists. We are comparing all maps from World at War up until Infinite Warfare.
6!
You're going to notice a trend of the Exo-Zombies maps always being very low on these lists, not because they themselves are bad, just because all of the Treyarch maps are so good in comparison. Infection is no different, however I do think it is a bad map for the most part because of the fart gas that will just break off parts of the map for a while, as well as the boss zombie is a huge pain in the ass and the weapons in Exo-Zombies are not very strong to take care of him, so it's extremely difficult and not all that enjoyable, especially with the survivor side quests that you have to do and then you get punished for not completing them. They aren't the most difficult thing to deal with, but it is very hard to get around in the higher rounds because you cannot save those survivors very easily at all.
5!
Call of Duty takes this position on this ranking list because of George for the most part. Like, I really enjoy the special celebrity guests. I think this is the first time that they did that, and they continue to do other games, but they're really cool in this map. Like, I'm a huge fan of Michael Rooker. I really love that man. Sarah Michelle Gellar is really cool. Danny Trejo's cool. I cannot remember the last guy's name, but he's also fairly cool. I really enjoy all of those characters. It's just George really is bothersome, and running through the water and getting frozen, pain in the ass. And the Vril is almost a complete waste of a weapon in solo, which is most of what I play.
4!
Shinonuma. It introduced the dogs, which are a staple in zombies nowadays. They've kind of trailed off a bit, but they're still always having a special zombie round of some sort in a map, just because dogs started all that back in the day for your max ammo rounds. There are very few maps that do not have those anymore. It also introduced the Wonder WAF. How can you not love the Wonder WAF? It had no Pack-a-Punch because that came in Darius, but the map wasn't very difficult because of the low zombie count of the actual spawning, the insta-kill rounds that would eventually happen. So these are small glitches that made it easier, but it didn't ruin the experience any. It was actually pretty fun with the atmosphere. The atmosphere is really what gets us on the list, not last place. The atmosphere is just amazing. I always loved the small Easter eggs that were in it, you know, the meteor outside the map, the Tunguska writing along the wall in the one hut that you can't actually see without glitching out of the map, but I just love the atmosphere in this map.
3!
This is probably a very unpopular opinion, however Shaolin Shuffle is my favorite Infinite Warfare Zombies map. I love the whole karate kung fu-esque feel of the map. The cheese styles are very fun to use. I love each of them and their differences. They're really cool looking. The abilities that they give you are awesome. I love the dragon, how it spins around you. The Easter egg is not all that bad. A lot of the Infinite Warfare Easter eggs are god-awful, but this one was not terrible. I enjoy all of the references to Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, with it being in New York City. They have the Rat King, which is pretty much kind of like a Master Splinter-esque character. They have like pizza hidden around in the sewers, kind of making small nods to the Turtles, and as you guys know, I love the Turtles from our Throwback Thursday streams.
2!
This is probably another unpopular opinion because I quite enjoy Zetsubou No Shima. If you play it, you know, nowadays, now that it's gone through all its patches and stuff, like on release, it was an awful map. There were so many glitches, so many death barriers. We didn't know a whole lot about the map, and it was really difficult. However, now it's not a super hard map, but it's hard enough to still give quite a challenge, especially in Black Ops 3, where a lot of the maps are really easy. I'd say Zetsubou is probably the hardest out of all the maps on there. Maybe Shadows is a bit harder, but you also have the Apothecon Servant, so I don't know, that's a toss-up in difficulty there. But Zetsubou is a really cool map. I love the Thrashers, even though a lot of people hate them, but I quite enjoy them. The Spores don't bother me all that much. The Spider Boss, really cool. They have 2 bosses in the map, and even though the Easter egg is kind of weird, like artillery shell growing out of a plant, that's odd, but it's a fun Easter egg. I like fighting Takio. The ending cutscene is amazing, very feelsy, and yeah, just overall pretty great map.
1!
I think this is the obvious choice for a list like this where we're comparing all the DLC 2 maps. A map that is usually ranked as one of the greatest Zombies maps of all time. The Easter egg is very fun. If you could do it in solo, that would be awesome, because I'm a solo kind of guy. Maybe you can. I haven't done it in a long time. Someone tells me you can, but that'd be weird because you kind of need to fight each other. But anyways, the wonder weapon on that map, the Blundergat, is so fun to use. It becomes the Vitrolic Withering, I believe. Again, I haven't played it in a super long time, but the Vitrolic Withering is very fun to use. You can either have the Acid Gat, which then turns into the Vitrolic Withering, or the regular Blundergat upgrade, which is not as good. The Vitrolic Withering is so much better. There's a lot of cool training areas. The aesthetic of the map, like I said, with Shinonuma, is very cool. The special guest characters, it's nice. I'm a big fan of all of them, and I like the nods to them and Shadows of Evil. Not really related to why this is ranked where it is, but That's how it is. And this is Jason Blundell's first real outing into a zombies map, and you just see how he's run with his whole storyline. This is where the current storyline really got its roots with Jason Blundell. This has to be number one. There's no way that it could not have been. That is all for this top 6 list, guys. Let me know down in the comments if you agree, disagree, give me your lists, all that stuff. Leave a like if you enjoyed, subscribe for all the good shit, hit the notification bell so you know when I stream and upload. I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace!